Welcome back to the Football Heritage. Back again with another edition. This time around, we're talking about the Champions League. Second leg of the semi-final in the Champions League. Arsenal lost 2-1 against Paris Saint-Germain. And on a 3-1 aggregate loss. Barcelona also lost. Barcelona lost 4-3. The game ended 3-3 extra time. Inter Milan scored to defeat Barcelona 4-3 and 7-6. Can you imagine? 7-6 aggregate win. 7-6 for Inter Milan. And in the Europa League, Manchester United won 4-1 at Old Trafford, winning 7-1 over 2 legs. And Tottenham Hotspur won 2-0 away to Bodo Glimt, and a 5-1 aggregate win for Tottenham Hotspur. A 5-1 aggregate win for Tottenham Hotspur. So the first game I'm going to discuss on this platform will be the Arsenal game. Arsenal against PSG at the Parc des Princes in France. It was a good game, a fascinating game. Arsenal, they were down 1-0 because they lost 1-0 in the first leg of the tie. Ousmane Dembele scoring the lone goal at the Emirates Stadium to defeat Arsenal in the first leg, 1-0. So Arsenal needed to win at least by one clear goal to go into to take the tie into extra time, or to win anything more than one clear goal to advance to the final stage of the competition. But Arsenal, they lost again. And this was their third time playing in the semi-final stage of the European Champions League. The first time they went to the semi-final stage was 2006, where they defeated Villarreal in the semi-final and they lost to Barcelona in the final of the Champions League. The second time Arsenal made it to the semi-final stage of the Champions League was 2009 when they played Manchester United. They lost 1-0 at Old Trafford and lost at home 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium against Manchester United. So Arsenal needed to win to stay in the competition when they went to the Parc des Princes against uncertain Paris Saint-Germain. They are playing the best football right now in Europe. As I said earlier, this year, that since January, Paris Saint-Germain, they have been playing the best football in Europe, and they defeated all the English teams in the Champions League this season. They defeated Manchester City in the group stage of the competition, 4-2. They defeated Liverpool. They defeated Liverpool, and in the last 16, they defeated Liverpool. Then in its quarterfinal stage, they defeated Aston Villa. In the semi-final stage, they knocked out Arsenal. So they beat all the English team in the Champions League. Kudos to Paris. The game, Arsenal, the first 15 minutes, Arsenal, They were brilliant. Arsenal started the game well. They were brilliant from the first 15 minutes, playing scintillating football. They were attacking, and they were excellent. PSG couldn't get near Arsenal. PSG couldn't get Arsenal. They couldn't get near them in the middle of the park. Arsenal controlled the tempo of the game, and they started the game with high pace, high tempo game. And they created some chances within the first 15 minutes. And Declan Rice had a header. He had the ball just wide. He should have scored. And a brilliant save from Donnarumma when he made a brilliant save from Martin Odegaard. And I think he saw the shot late. So that was a good save from Donnarumma, who has come under criticism a lot of time, especially a few seasons back against Real Madrid when he did some crazy stuff in that game to allow Madrid back into the game. And he has made few blunders in the past. But this season, particularly against Liverpool, Arsenal, in recent time this year in the Champions League, he has been incredible. Donnarumma has been incredible this season. And he made a brilliant save from Martin Odegaard. It could have been a different game if Arsenal scored for it. As I said in my preview, for Arsenal to go through, they needed not to concede first. They needed to score first for them to go through, because that would have helped Arsenal if they could have scored the first goal in the tie. And PSG, Arsenal, okay, let me just continue with Arsenal. Arsenal, this is one of the major problems with Arsenal. When you tell the Arsenal fan and they are so arrogant, you don't have a striker. You don't have a point striker. Beating Real Madrid this season. This is one of the worst Madrid teams I have seen in recent years. For the past 10 years plus, this Madrid team is one of the worst teams I have seen. They play with all coordination, nothing. They don't play as a team. They play as a group of individuals. And this is the reason why they are not going to win in La Liga. This is the reason why they lost to Arsenal 5-1 on aggregate in the Champions League. And beating Real Madrid should not be used as a yardstick to measure your strength as a football club this season. Because this Madrid team is one of the worst Madrid teams for the past 15, 20 years. They have some big players, some big character in the squad, but they don't play as a team. They don't. So Miguel Merino started up front, and Arsenal, they created some chances in that first 15 minutes. But after that, PSG started to control the game after the first 15, 20 minutes when Arsenal were on top. Then PSG started coming into the game gradually. And PSG scored in a 27 minute. That was a brilliant goal from Fabian Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz scored a brilliant goal to put PSG in the lead. And at that stage, I think the tie was like almost over, because going 2-0 up on aggregate score, 1-0 up for the night, and 2-0 aggregate, Arsenal needed to score 2 goals with all reply to go into extra time. 2 goals with all reply to go into extra time. And to score more than 2 goals with all reply to win the game. And that was very difficult for Arsenal. It was very difficult for Arsenal to do that, because Paris Saint-Germain, they play as a team. Luis Enrique has changed this team. First, they always used to go for the Galacticos when they started. Messi, the Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, the Cavani, the Ibrahimovic before those other guys. It was difficult for them to win the Champions League. They couldn't even go far in the competition. The only time they went to the final before this season was in 2020. When in 2020, we all know how football was like, empty stadium during the COVID when they lost to Bayern Munich 1 goal to nil. So defensively, I think Marquinhos, he's the weakling in our squad. But apart from that, Ashraf Hakimi is one of the best fullback in the world, and Nuno Mendes. But the guy that really impressed me the most is Fabian Ruiz. He's so energetic the way he press, and he also can pass the ball. Vitinha, João Neves, and those three guys, Vitinha, João Neves, and Fabian Ruiz, they cost 110 million pounds for PSG. They bought those three guys with combined fees of 110 million pounds. And Declan Rice cost Arsenal 105 million pounds. So the entire PSG may fee and Declan Rice worth similar money. So this alone tells you the amount of work Luis Enrique has done. The amount of work he has done. 3 players in the middle of the park for such money. And the addition in the January transfer window of Visha Kvaratskhelia. This guy, I think he was one of the things that PSG were missing in the squad. He's an experienced player because Barcola, Bradley Barcola and Desiree Doué, they are young players, and a lot of time they're going to make mistake. But bringing in an experienced player like Visha Kvaratskhelia, that was an immense job from Luis Enrique. And they have the best thing in Europe right now, PSG, because the Mayfield is good, and they have good attack and good defense. And second half, PSG, they had a penalty, and Vitinha didn't convert from the spot. Few minutes later, the Moroccan international Ashraf Hakimi made it 2-0 to Paris. But Bukayo Saka scored to make it 2-1, and he missed a setup to make it 2-2. They get in a 2-1, and Paris Saint-Germain advanced to the next stage, which is the final of the Champions League. And let me just address the Arsenal fan. You guys need to be humble. Arsenal fans need to be humble. You guys are so arrogant, like your manager. You guys act as if you're supporting Real Madrid. The way Madrid fans supposed to be arrogant, because Madrid is the most successful club in world football. They won the highest number of Champions League, 15 Champions League title. Madrid have won 15 Champions League title. They have won the most La Liga, the most Champions League. They are the most successful club. They are the biggest club in world football, and they are not as arrogant as Arsenal fans. A team like Arsenal, Arsenal is a Tottenham Pro Mass. Arsenal is a Tottenham Pro Mass. They have never won the UEFA Cup, which is now called the Europa. They have never won a trophy before. They have never ever won the Champions League. But yet they are arrogant as if that their team have won like Real Madrid. This is a team that have now won. They have now won the Premier League since 2004. 21 years. You have never won a league title in 21 years. But you're so arrogant. You guys need to be humble. Arsenal fans should be humble. 5 years now with all a trophy. Mikel Arteta has spent over 700 million pounds for the past 5 years, but 0 trophy to show for those 5 years. And yet, you guys are so arrogant that you have a lot of trophy, like you're winning trophy every year. You don't sit on the same table. Let's forget about Real Madrid, the biggest team in world football. Let's come to the Premier League. In Europe, when it comes to European competition, the Premier League clubs, you don't even sit on the same table. Liverpool 6 Champions League, Manchester United 3 Champions League, Nottingham Forest 2 Champions League, Chelsea 2 Champions League, Aston Villa 1 Champions League, Manchester City 1 Champions League. You don't even sit on the same table when you have a Champions League meeting. You cannot sit on the same table that those clubs sit on. You get no history in Europe. No, absolutely no history in Europe. And this is why Patrice Evra said, you guys are Netflix. So now, you guys are saying next season. That's it. Season what? Arteta is phase what? Phase 6. So that should be season 6 of Arteta football. Humble yourself, Arsenal fan. Be humble. You don't know how to win. So be humble. This is a team that don't know how to win. Every year, Arsenal will give the Arsenal fans hope that they are going to win trophy. But yet they don't win trophies. But they act as if as their team can win trophy like Real Madrid and all the other clubs that have been winning European trophy around here. Be humble. Be humble. And guess what? Arteta is the Spanish Bruno Rodgers. He will not win you any major trophy. He is the Spanish Bruno Rodgers. He's not going to win anything. This is a man, Arteta. The bull, and you guys want to blame the bull. You don't want to blame Arteta for anything. This is a coach who has been given over £700 million to buy a player. Did the bull tell Arteta not to buy a striker? Have you guys asked yourself this question, Arsenal fans? Did the bull, Arsenal bull, did Arsenal bull tell Mikel Arteta not to buy a striker at all for the past 5 years? Since Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexander Lacazette left that football club, Arteta has not signed on number 9. Did the board tell him to do that? That Arteta, the £700 million plus we are giving you, do not sign a striker. Did the board tell him to do that? Have you guys asked that question? This is a man who was a cold ball to Pep Guardiola, but everything he want to play like Pep Guardiola, but he is unable to play like Pep Guardiola. He want to copy everything about Pep. Because Pep played a full season in the Premier League with all a point striker and he won the Premier League. Did a bull tell Mikel Arteta to sell Kai Havertz or Chelsea reject for £65 million? Did a bull tell him to do that? And after he saw Havertz trying several times in the middle of the park, he performed dismally. He was shocking in the middle. So now he changed his position to be a striker. But can a man like Kai Havertz lead you to a Premier League title? Absolutely not. It's not happening. This is a man who cannot even score 15 Premier League goals a season. How can such player lead you to Premier League title? It's not happening. Can a Gabriel Jesus lead you to Premier League title? No, it's not happening. He is not on number 9. But yet you want to blame everybody without blaming that fraud, that Spanish Bruno Rodgers, Mikel Arteta. Hey guys, come on guys. How? Y'all be humble. Be humble, Arsenal fan. Stop all the crap. Be humble. That team is nothing. It's not a big football club. So you guys need to be, it's not a big football club. This is a team that have never won a European trophy or European trophy that existing. I know you want to say you win cup, win no cup. It's not even existing no more. The two major European trophies are the Champions League and the Europa. And Arsenal have never won any of those trophies. So how are you a big club in Europe? You are like Everton, bro. Arsenal fans, humble yourself like Everton fan, Tottenham fan. You're not part of the big boys. You are not. And the game, what was Arteta playing after the first? Because his first plan was to try to get a goal in the first 15 minutes. After that plan failed, what tactics did he use again? What tactics did Arteta use? Oh, I forget. He took the phone and called Tony Pulis, the former stock manager. Thomas Partey, long throw, cross the ball in the box, and long throw, free kick, corner kick. That was the tactics. Stoke pro mass. Arsenal tend to stoke pro mass for the rest of the game. Focus, even though we don't have striker, even though Atena said, even though we don't have striker, but just put crosses into the box. Maybe by miracle we'll score. No striker, but they should just put the crosses in the box. Long throw. Thomas Partey tend to delap. He just delap everything. Delap it in the box. Long throw FC. This is a thing that depends on set pieces and throw now. Long throw. Let's talk City. Arsenal won against Real Madrid 5-1 aggregate. The first leg, there were the tie was over the 3-0. Two of those goals, brilliant free kick from Declan Rice, a player who has never, before that game, he has never scored a free kick goal in 11. And I don't think he will even score any free kick goal as good as those two free kicks he scored against Real Madrid. The 5 goals Arsenal scored in Madrid. 3 of those 5 goals were set pieces. 3 of those 5 goals. So, it's over. Another trophyless season as usual. 5 consecutive seasons with all trophy. Spent over 700 million in those 5 years. But he's still going to maintain his job because that Arsenal, the standard at Arsenal is very low. So humble yourself because the standard at that football club is low. It's very, very low. It is only at Arsenal. This can never happen as poor as Manchester United have been. It can never happen at Manchester United or coach will spend 5 years with all winning trophy and still maintain his job. It can never happen at Chelsea. It can never happen at Barcelona. It can never happen at Real Madrid. All the big clubs in Europe, Arteta who have been fired 2-3 years ago. It's not happening. And this guy will win you nothing. And you guys may likely finish 3rd place in the Premier League because I think the only game you get to win the last game of the season, Southampton. You're not winning against Newcastle and Liverpool. So be humble, Netflix FC. You guys can wait for next season. Another season, Netflix, another series, season 6 about to start next season. The next season is season 6. So you got to continue watching the Netflix series. This is your football club. In your best year for the past 20 years, this is your best time. But yeah, you can win trophy. And the delusional manager going up to say that Arsenal was the best thing in the entire competition, the best thing in the Champions League lost. How? How can you say Arsenal was the best thing in the competition? How is that? How? So because you finished 3rd place, so what about the 2 teams that finish above you? in a group stage so we can say they're the best? You lost. PSG defeated you back to back. You lost. How can you say you are the best team in the entire competition? Were you better than Barcelona in this competition? No. That Barcelona game, we saw one of the greatest games ever in the history of the Champions League. 7-6. That was a classic. One of the greatest games ever in the history of the Champions League. So Arsenal fan, being humble. This is your football club. Do not act as if your club is winning something. You guys are so arrogant. You are act as if Arsenal is on Real Madrid level or Barcelona, Manchester United, Liverpool. No, you are not at that level. You are like that. You are Tottenham Pro Mass or Everton Pro Mass. You are nothing as compared to those clubs. So stay humble. So we now move on to the second semi-final. Inter Milan defeated Barcelona. Inter Milan defeated Barcelona 7-6. This was one of the best game ever. Best game ever in a two-leg Champions League. Any stage from the last 16 quarterfinal, semi-final. This was one of the best two-leg game ever I've seen in the history of the Champions League. First leg, Keanu, 3-3. Second leg, at the San Siro. And Inzaghi, Simone Inzaghi he's a brilliant coach. Because if you look at that Inter squad, if you look into the Inter squad, you look at a player like Henry Mkhitaryan. This guy is like 36 now. Borussia Dortmund, Manchester United, Arsenal. Man United rejected him, Arsenal rejected him. Kanakoglu also is in his 30s. And you look at Francesco Acerbi, who is also like, he's very old. Acerbi is very old. If you look at Acerbi, he's old too. The goalkeeper, Sommer is 36. Mkhitaryan, 36. Shanakoglu, 31. And the center back Acerbi, he is 37 years old. The center back, 37 years old. And the average age of the Inter squad, the average age of the starting 11 was 20, almost 30. The average age of the starting 11, almost 30. He's doing an incredible job with our squad. A lot of old players and Inter Milan. We all know how they were going to start sit back and hit Barcelona on a counter attack, because you cannot attack Barcelona the same way they attack you. You're going to lose. Probably they're going to you're going to be trash. They're going to embarrass you. So they were sitting deep. And Lautaro Martinez scored the first goal. Another assist from Dumfries, Denzel Dumfries. Another assist from Denzel Dumfries. And just in the injury time, they had a penalty. Shanakoglu converted from the penalty spot. So I heard a lot of us Barcelona fans complaining about the penalty. That was a clear penalty. Here's the rule. If you go to challenge like that, you go in like that, you go on the ground like that, you have to make contact with the ball. If you don't get the ball, clear penalty. And he didn't get the ball. He got Lautaro Martinez. And that was a clear penalty. A clear one. And Shanakoglu converted it to make it 1-0. But the way Barcelona responded in the second half, they responded brilliantly. They came out in that second half. It was different. Lamine Yamal, Ire Garcia, and Martin of all people, Gerard Martin, gave 2 assists in that game, our first 2 goals. A brilliant cross. And what a brilliant goal from Ire Garcia to make it 2-1. And another brilliant cross. Brilliant cross from Martin again to Danny Olmo, who headed the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-2 with just 60 minutes on the clock. So Aston State Inter defended for their lives. And they just defend. And deep into the game, in the 87, 88 minutes of the game, Rafinha scored a third goal to make it 3-2 to Barcelona and 6-5 on aggregate. He thought that was the winner, and many football fans thought that was the winner for Barcelona. But the drama was still to come. Few minutes later, in stoppage time, Acerbi equalized. To make it 3-3. And Barcelona will have themselves to blame. They will have themselves to blame for that goal. For that equalizer to make it 3-3. You cannot put more men foul when you are up 3-2 injury time. You should sit back and see the game out. That's how it is done. They shouldn't have pushed more men foul at that stage of the game to expose the defense. That was a costly mistake from Barcelona. We know Barcelona is an attacking team. We know. But at some stage of the game, you have to defend. You have to sit back. You have scored and you are playing away from home. You have scored with 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And there was a 5-minute stoppage time. Why are you still attacking? Why are you not taking the ball to the corner flag? Why is Lamine Yamal still shooting? Why are you still pushing more player foul? Why are you not defending properly? And they pay for it. They pay because they didn't defend. We know you can attack, but at some stage of the game, you have to defend. And this is why this PSG team style of play different from Barcelona, because PSG can defend. At some stage of the game, they can defend. Then in the game ended 3-3. They went to extra time. And in the first half of the extra time, Barcelona conceded again. This time around from the substitute David Fratesi. Fratesi scored in the 99 minute. It was a brilliant goal to make it 4-3 to Inter Milan in 7-6 on aggregate. So Inter Milan advanced to the final of the Champions League. Barcelona out because of their poor defensive. And so the world of football, let me just say that before I move on. PSG and Arsenal saved the war of football. They saved the footballing war from noise pollution. Because we all know the two noisy fans in world football, it doesn't matter which part of the world you are, that they make the most noise as football fans, the Arsenal fans and the Barcelona fans. They are very, 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 very noisy. So thanks and appreciation go to Paris Saint-Germain and internationally known as Inter Milan. They did extremely well for the footballing war. Because time like this, it could have been noisy all around. But they saved the war from noise pollution. Thank you, Inter Milan. Thank you, Paris Saint-Germain. And the final will be the good game. We know Inter Milan going to defend the game because Paris Saint-Germain, they love to have possession. And Inter going to play their usual game, sit back and hit on the break. It's going to be a good game, especially for the neutral. The neutral going to enjoy this game. All the neutral going to enjoy the Champions League final. So, for me, even though I prefer Paris Saint-Germain winning, but I don't care if Inter win. But if all those noises, guys, Arsenal, Barcelona, oh my days, the Arsenal was to play Inter or Barcelona was to play Paris, definitely I want Paris to win if it was that way. And the other way around, if it was Arsenal against Inter, definitely I want Inter to win because we don't want noise. But thank God, Paris Saint-Germain and internationally they save the footballing war from noise pollution. So congratulations to the finalists. We're going to enjoy the final with a neutral. We don't care who win the trophy because Barcelona and Arsenal, they are out. And Arsenal season ended with 0 trophy again. So, to the Europa League, Manchester United yesterday won at Old Trafford. They won yesterday at Old Trafford 4-1. And the first half of the game, let me talk about the goal Athletic Bilbao score. That was a mistake from Maguire and the goalkeeper Onana. Maguire, why are you passing the ball? We're all looking at 2 options. Low properly and pass the ball to Onana. Either pass the ball to Onana or Lenny Yoro. But he didn't even look. He just gave the misplaced pass and they capitalized on it to score. And Onana, the goal, this guy is one of the terrible goalkeepers I ever seen in my lifetime. I have seen a lot of terrible goalkeepers. I have seen a lot of goalkeepers who made some reckless mistake after mistake. But this guy, Onana, costing Manchester United about £55 million. Absolute disaster. Who the goalkeeper you know in world football will go to save a ball diving to save a ball with their two hands. Goalkeeper dive with their one hand to save a ball from the top corner. You don't go with both hands. I have never seen it. It's only Onana I see going with both hands. I don't know where he learned that from. I'm not a goalkeeper. I'm not a goalkeeper coach, but I know that from my football knowledge that a goalkeeper to go to save a shot that is far from him, he diving to save the shot that going in the top corner. You have to go with one hand to save it. You don't go with both hands. But that's what Onana did. He conceded. And Garnacho, he had a 1v1 situation to level the score in the first half. A terrible miss from him. And this kid, I don't think he fit in the system. He has been terrible. His footballing IQ is so low. His footballing IQ is low as a footballer. His IQ as a footballer is very, very low. He always lost possession. He runs like a headless chicken. He doesn't know how to pass the ball properly. His decision making is terrible. Garnacho decision making is terrible. He runs like a headless chicken. He is not clinical in front of goal. But second half, Mason Mount equalized. Casemiro made it 2-1. Rasmus Højlund and Mason Mount scored a fourth goal to make it 4-1, 7-1 on aggregate. And I think the return of Mason Mount is a boost. What I saw from him for about 30 minutes last night, I think this guy, if he is fit, I think he can offer more for Manchester United than Garnacho and the rest of the guys that are up front. He and Ahmad coming into the squad from injury is a boost. And I think both of them can play in that role. It is a boost. Ahmad can play the wing-back position. Messi man play as one of the 10s alongside anyone. Or he play as a false nine because I don't trust Rasmus Højlund. This guy, he doesn't know how to control properly. He doesn't pass. I don't get it. Rasmus Højlund is so terrible. Even though he scored yesterday, but that goal was even my late grandmother or my grandfather could score that goal. It was put right on the plate for him by Amad Diallo. And this is a guy who career Ten Hag wanted to kill, Amad Diallo. He and Bruno are the two best players on Manchester United, hands down. But yet Ten Hag, last season, especially the first phase up to like March or February or March before he started playing Ahmad, this guy play Anthony in front of Amad Diallo. Garnacho in front of Amad Diallo. Rashford in front of Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo decision making is top notch. This is one of the things of football player when they get good footballing IQ. The team going to benefit from such footballer. His IQ is up there as a footballer. He knows when to pass, he knows when to dribble, and he knows when to take a shot. That's what you call a complete footballer. So he and man returning is a boost for Manchester United ahead of the final, which will be played in 12 days' time. Tottenham Hotspur won 2-0, winning the tie 5-1. And even though Bundesliga, it was terrible pitch, but Tottenham, Dominic Solanke, and Pedro Porro scored 2 goals to win again for Spurs. So the final is all set. It's all English final in the Europa League. In 12 days' time, Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. In the Conference League, Chelsea won at home 1-0, winning the tie 5-1, 5-1 on aggregate, and Betis drew 2-2 to Fiorentina, away to Fiorentina, winning that tie 4-3 on aggregate. And Anthony scored and gave an assist in that match. So we now move on to the race for top 5 in the Premier League, because this weekend is a race for the top 5 in the Premier League this weekend. And so Southampton playing Man City. I think Man City going to win that. That should be the easy win. All the teams that are fighting for the top 5 spot, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Manchester City, Newcastle. Man City have the easier among them, so I think Man City may finish 3rd place. I think so. Man City will finish in the top 5. And on Sunday, we have Nottingham Forest against Leicester City. Now, I think Nottingham Forest should win this one, because if they don't win this one, they stand 0 chance. Right now, the chances of even finishing in the top 5 is very, very low. Very, very, very low. Newcastle United. This is the game of the weekend. 2 teams. Newcastle United against Chelsea at St. James's Park. Both teams have 63 points. So a win for either of those teams will move them to 66 with 2 games to go. So this is a huge game. Chelsea against Newcastle on Sunday. Chelsea, they have to avoid defeat in this one. If they avoid defeat, they stand a chance, because the last game, the last day of the Premier League season, will be at Nottingham Forest, which will not be an easy game for them. So they have to avoid defeat, because if they don't, if Nottingham Forest win and Aston Villa win their game, they all will have. Oh, when if Chelsea lose, Nottingham Forest win, Nottingham Forest go above them, and then that will make it tricky. This is a tricky game. Chelsea have to get something from the game. If they don't, for them to make the Champions League will be a very, very difficult one. So, but I think Newcastle going to win 2-1. That's my prediction. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 1. So, most of the other El Clasico will be this weekend in Spain. We have the El Clasico, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Real Madrid 4 points behind Barcelona, and they have already lost 3 times this season. They have already lost 3 times this season to Barcelona. 3 times. And Sunday is the El Clasico. It says Sunday. Yeah, Sunday is the El Clasico. It's going to be a difficult game for Real Madrid, because right now they are absolutely terrible. They are so terrible right now. And Rudiger will be out, so defensive option will be very limited for Real Madrid, because Rudiger will be out. The only natural defender they have right now in the center back position, he will be out because of suspension. So I can't see Real Madrid getting anything from this game. I think Barcelona are going to win, and if they win, it will be all over. The only way Madrid stand a little chance in the title race is to win again. That's the only way they will stand a chance is to win. But if they draw or lose, the title race will be all over. And I think Madrid going to lose. 3-1 is my prediction. I don't think Madrid have a good team this season to defeat Barcelona because they, they, they have been average all season. Terrible, not even average. They have been terrible all season. So I don't think they will get anything from that game. I think Real Madrid going to lose. So before I go, please, the link is in the description. You can subscribe to the channel. The link is there. Follow or subscribe to the channel. You can also share it. You can also tell your friends to subscribe to the Football Heritage. So thank you very much for those that will listen later. We appreciate your effort. We appreciate everything you're doing to help this channel to grow. So wherever you are, this is how I come to the end of this podcast. And I'll see you on Sunday. I will be here again to give you the post-match analysis to the weekend fixture in the Premier League and the Real Madrid against Barcelona post-match analysis. Thank you very much. You guys can have a pleasant night or a pleasant morning or a pleasant afternoon or evening. It doesn't matter wherever you are. Peace. I'm all here.